And let's get right to the news and a historic day in Manhattan. Lawyers presented their opening statements, and the first witness, former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker, took to the stand in Donald Trump's criminal trial. The former president and the Republican Party's presumptive nominee is staying on message that the case is a distraction from his campaign.
It's very unfair what's going on, and I should be allowed to campaign. And whoever heard of this, you get indicted for that? People in the court just said to me, I can't believe it. This is the case.
Trump is accused of falsifying business records to cover up a payment during his 2016 presidential campaign to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The prosecution says this was part of a scheme to corrupt the 2016 election. And moving over to Capitol Hill, Speaker Mike Johnson bet the House over the weekend. He defied a chunk of his party to pass a foreign aid package, including funding for Ukraine. That could spell trouble for Johnson's future as Speaker, as the legislation now heads to the Democratic-controlled Senate. Bob Costa and Nicole Killian are following all of these developments for us, but we'll begin with Bob, who is outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Bob, that's become your home now as you cover this trial. But this was a big day. Opening statements in the first criminal trial of a former president. What exactly did each side say in their opening statements?
They outlined the whole scope of this investigation and ultimately this prosecution and the trial that began today. For the District Attorney Alvin Bragg, this was a key moment in his career, outlining the case against a former president of the United States, alleging that he committed felony crimes, that he was participant in a scheme to cover and kill, catch and kill, they call it. Tough stories about Trump and his alleged misconduct during the 2015-2016 period, and using Michael Cohen, Trump's longtime lawyer, as a means of paying off people like Stormy Daniels, the adult film star, so those stories didn't come to light at a critical moment in the 2016 election. Trump is falsely saying this is election interference and something that's being stirred by President Biden and his Justice Department. But what's evident here today is this is very real, and Trump is being accused of allegedly committing crimes that really affected, in the eyes of the prosecution, how the election played out in 2016.
And in part of making that case, prosecutors called their first witness to the stand, David Pecker. He's the former publisher of the National Enquirer. How important is his testimony to this case?
It's very important, and that's part of why the prosecution decided to call David Pecker first. What they're doing here is trying to counter the defense's argument that Trump was just paying Cohen his legal fees. Cohen, Trump's longtime lawyer, and what the defense argued today through the Trump lawyer Todd Blanche is that Trump ultimately wasn't really a participant in any scheme. All he was doing was paying his lawyer, Michael Cohen. The prosecution is saying that's not true. Yes, Trump might have called it legal fees when he made his payment to Cohen, but he knowingly was a participant in a scheme to cover up payments to Stormy Daniels with the intent of blocking any kind of coverage of his alleged sexual encounter with Stormy Daniels years ago. Trump denies all wrongdoing, denies all kinds of encounters that are alleged in this case. That must be noted as well. But you have a framing here from the defense and from the prosecution today that we are going to hear more and more about as this trial unfolds. And David Pecker was called by the prosecution today clearly because he is part of the origin story of how these payments got made ultimately in October of 2016.
And Bob, there are no cameras allowed in the courtroom, so the public's view of this trial comes through reporting like yours, sketches from the courtroom artists. But, you've been in the room. You can kind of tell us what it's like in there. Is it possible to describe Trump's demeanor in the courtroom, especially during those opening statements from Pecker?
This is a scene that's unlike anything in American politics. We use the term unprecedented a lot, but this is certainly unprecedented in American political history to have a general election campaign season playing out with a candidate like Donald Trump having to sit in a courtroom, not because he wants to sit in the courtroom, but because he's mandated by the prosecution to be there, a criminal defendant in a high-stakes trial. Trump clearly frustrated, and he's raging on social media. He's oftentimes complaining to reporters in the hallway, but inside the courtroom, it's clear that Trump is relatively muted, even at times dipping his head, closing his eyes, not saying much. He's not muttering. He's not fidgeting as much as I've seen Trump in previous trials here in New York. I've sat behind him in the courtroom at previous legal issues he's faced, and he's always been a little bit more electric in those settings. But Trump is facing a gag order here. He's not allowed to speak out. And he knows that the judge, Juan Merchan, in this case, is watching Trump very closely. He can't speak about witnesses. He can't speak about the jurors.
And just the first day of this trial. Bob Costa, thank you very much for being there for us in Lower Manhattan. We appreciate it.